Hello? I have an emergency. There's no parking.
We can all relate to that. We'll tell about some new construction that you'll be really excited about.
Speaking of new construction, could the AI takeover start in San Marcos?
It's only April, but we couldn't wait. Are you ready for some football?
And later, April means end of semester exams, projects, and stress, but the library found a new way to pause your anxiety. Hi, and welcome to Bobcat Update. I'm Ava Gibson.
And I'm Ashley Waters. We're glad you could join us. Hey Ava, did you drive and park on campus today?
Yeah, I actually parked in a restricted lot because I couldn't find any parking on campus.
Right? Unless you're here for an 8 o'clock class, you might find yourself prowling for a spot.
But that could be about to improve. Reporter Ashley Vella hits the gas on a new construction project that a lot of students will be excited about.
Let's face it, we've all been there. You're late for class, circling an endless lot, when you happen upon a vacant space, only to realize it's restricted parking. With a growing population of students and very limited parking lots, it's no surprise it's been a struggle.
I could see use being made out of it if it has a direct bus line to campus. As a commuter, I'm looking for the closest and fastest way to get to campus.
But not to worry, Bobcats. Texas State has listened and finally answered our parking prayers. This August, a brand new lot located on Thorpe Lane is set to open, bringing 500 much-needed spots designed to solve your sanity and maybe even your GPA.
So Thorpe Lane, it's a new parking lot that we're constructing. It's right off the I-35 access road. It's going to provide a little over 500 spots, which will be really great. And what makes this particular parking lot attractive is that it's easy access right on and off of the I-35 access roads.
With construction already underway, many hope this marks the start of a more commuter-friendly future.
So if you're a commuter student that is using I-35 on your way to get to campus, it allows you to park without having to come into the city of San Marcos, coming over the overpass. We identified it this year as the result of a lot of feedback that we were getting from the students, about the need for commuter parking and increasing that. And so we were able to respond relatively quickly, and it'll be in place August of this year.
With the parking shortage at Texas State finally being addressed, students heading into the fall 2025 semester can expect less time searching for a spot and more time focusing on campus life. This is Ashley Vella, Bobcat Update.
There was a controversy last week at a local protest. This time, it involved the buses some of us ride around campus. On Saturday, April 5th, millions of people gathered in cities around the country to protest President Trump and Elon Musk, including at the state capitol in Austin. Social media posts showed some people arriving at that protest on Texas State branded buses. One state lawmaker even commented, criticizing Texas State for supporting the protest. But those protesters weren't from here, and university leaders didn't know anything about it. The company that owns the buses rented them out to the group. Texas State President Kelly Dampfus has asked to change the contract. He wants that company to get permission anytime they use Texas State branded buses for anything not related to the university. That protest was part of the Hands Off campaign. It happened in dozens of cities around the country with huge turnouts in California, D.C., and elsewhere. It was aimed at efforts by Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency. Protesters viewed the government job cuts as being too fast and aggressive without enough time to research the impact.
Speaking of impact, construction could start this month on a big new data center right here in San Marcos. Reporter Sam Lang talked with some members of the Texas State community about why it's coming here and what it could mean for some of our most precious resources.
This field right behind me could soon be home to a massive electronic data center. When fully operational, the site could be used to host internet servers and run AI programming. But with the excessive amounts of energy it takes to run an operation like the one proposed by Cloudburst Technologies, city officials begin to worry for the future of San Marcos.
The data center, still in the proposal stage and awaiting zoning and permits, is expected to be built just 20 minutes from campus. To understand where the concern comes from, we asked Bobcats how they feel about AI.
I haven't thought much about the environment. I guess I've thought more about its impact on kind of taken away from our creative ability, I guess, because it's just really quick, easy access and in the snap of a finger, and so it doesn't really force us to think anymore. I feel like it can potentially do more harm than good if we have no like limits on it or regulations. So I feel like if there were some that were enforced, it would definitely probably be safer for all of us in the long run.
A company press release from Cloudburst states they plan to use an on-site natural gas power plant to fuel operations, but does not disclose information on how they will supply the water required to run a data center of this scale. In order to learn more about why a tech company would want to operate in our town, we talked to University Professor of Computer Science, Ted Lear.
Good question. I don't know probably the answer. My opinion would be we have a lot of bright people in San Marcos. You want bright people to run a data center. There may be energy costs that are low. I know they're looking for lower energy cost areas. Texas has a lower regulatory environment, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on where you come from. If you don't have the right mix of energy sources, so by right I mean environmentally friendly energy sources, then you could have more air pollution, and it might raise costs.
The project will begin construction once zoning is confirmed and is projected to be operational by 2026. I'm Samuel Lang.
Technology was a major topic at the research showcase we told you about earlier this semester.
Reporter Brandon Nuevo introduces us to some experts who are helping Texas State faculty and students find their funding they need to support their work.
Texas State University hosted a special event celebrating research, scholarships, and creative activity. The event was held at the LBJ Student Center and brought together experts and funding leaders to discuss the future of research opportunities. Representatives from major funding organizations came here to answer questions about research funding and future initiatives.
The Research Training Awards have been around since the beginning, and that is really the impetus of the training grants. There's not many researchers that are going into diagnostics or therapeutics for products. And so that's when our bioscience district started working with the Texas Economic Development to really encourage and inspire young children, to get into a lab.
The event is part of Texas State's ongoing commitment to advancing research and fostering innovation across disciplines. Faculty and students have the chance to engage with experts and explore funding strategies for their projects.
But what I find is that by training researchers in the fundamentals of business makes a big difference, because they really understand contextually how interesting their technology may or may not be. So we've got a great program where we train our researchers. We fully embrace that program. It's been fantastic.
For those interested in securing research funding, this panel provides valuable insights. If you missed it, stay tuned for more opportunities to connect with industry leaders. Reporting from Texas State University, I'm Brandon Nuevo, and back to the studio.
Some of our classmates are busy with more than studying and maybe holding a job.
Right, some are entrepreneurs, and Texas State hosts a special event to help them sell their products. Reporter Quint Nevitt takes us to the latest market day.
Back on Thursday, April 3rd, multiple small student-owned businesses set up stands in the courtyard known as the Mall between the LBJ Student Center and Alkek Library as part of Texas State's Market Days, which is a way for students with small businesses to put themselves out there and get a little bit of recognition for their work. I spoke with senior David Extabalan, who says the Texas State Market Days mean a lot to the people who run a small business.
It helps out a lot, there's a lot of people that walk this campus every day, and just those extra eyes that get to see, what we're doing and stuff. So it definitely means a lot to us to be able to be here on campus today.
Having the extra eyes on these businesses isn't the only way the Texas State Market Days can help these small business owners. The manager of the Bobcat Marketplace, Connor Ward, spoke to me about how the Market Days also serve as a great way for these small business owners to learn how to run a business.
I think it's a great thing where students are able to learn anything in the classroom, but here they can kind of learn how to run a business per se, rather than just reading in a textbook.
The Texas State Market Days are hosted 3 times each semester, with the next Market Day taking place on Monday, April 21st, on the Quad and the Mall. For Bobcat Update, I'm Quint Nevitt.
In sports, we've been telling you about baseball, softball, and track and field lately.
But it's time to hit the gridiron, at least for a day.
Great day out there, a lot of fans, a lot of recruits, had the band out there, and man, just a really good day.
And a lot of fun. We'll take you there.
As the semester winds down, the traditions surrounding graduation keep coming. And later, stressed about your upcoming finals? You're not alone. Texas State's brought in some furry friends to hopefully take away that rough stress.
San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter's mission is to care for, protect, and find quality homes for abandoned and neglected animals. Approximately 6.5 million animals enter shelter, and only 3 million of those animals are adopted each year. More than half of those animals are left in the shelter without a home. Save a life and adopt or foster today. Contact the San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter at 512-805-2650. San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter, protecting and saving the lives of the pets of San Marcos.
Hey Ashley, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Are you ready for some football?
Heck yeah, and so is reporter Osmara Valles, live in the Sports Center. Osmara?
Thank you, Ava and Ashley. But before we get into football, since we're in the midst of baseball and softball season, the Bobcats are gearing up to go against Power 5 schools. Next week, the Bobcats will face the UT Longhorns at Bobcat Ballpark. As for softball, they will go against the Baylor Bears in Waco. Also, the Bobcats wrapped up their football spring game. I don't want to spoil too much, but Kay Knoll has your ticket into the scrimmage.
Fans are here at UFCU Stadium today to watch Texas State's spring game, where they're hoping to catch a glimpse of the players they'll see take the field later this fall. 2025 will mark the third year of Coach G.J. Kinney's tenure, where after 2 8-5 consecutive seasons with bowl wins, fans are excited to see what's happening in year 3.
It may not have been much different than any other practice for the players, but Texas State was prepared to make a day of it for the crowd. There were bounce houses, open concessions, merch tables, a charity drive, Bocos both inflatable and real, and, of course, the scrimmage. For fans who have been starved of Bobcat football for 4 months, it was a welcome and familiar scene. There were even a small group of tailgaters in the parking lot, like Matt, who asked us to not include his last name. He told us that he's excited for this next season.
This year, 10 games or more. Honestly, winning the Sun Belt would be crazy. That'd be really good for us. And then just packing the stadium every game. That'd be really good for us.
There's still a while to go until the Bobcats take on their first opponents later this year. But down quite a few key players from last year, fans have a lot of questions about this year's team. With star players like quarterback Jordan McLeod and wide receiver Joey Hobart graduating, and others like running back Ismail Mahdi transferring out, who's coming in to replace them? There wasn't a clear answer on Saturday. It still looks like the coaches are trying things out. They've also got quite a lot of decisions to make. The Bobcats have 5 candidates for quarterback alone. Regardless, the coach thought it was a good day.
Great day out there, a lot of fans, a lot of recruits, had the band out there, and man, just a really good day, really fun day. Obviously, we got a ton to work on, and we got to get a lot better before we kick it off, but pleased with where we're at in the spring. Now we hold on tight and see what happens.
The Bobcats will play their first game this season August 30th at home against Eastern Michigan, and they'll play 5 other home games this year. We'll see when they hit the field if all this effort pays off. From UFCU Stadium, I'm Kay Knoll for Bobcat Update.
It's wild that there are 5 quarterbacks vying for the starting job, but why not 6? But those back-to-back bowl wins make it a lot easier to recruit good players here than a few years ago. That's it for sports. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Osmara.
Fingers crossed for another winning season and bowl game win this fall. It's a little sad, though, that I won't be a student here for the next football season.
Well, I'll be here, so I'll represent you. That does remind me, though, that all of the traditions of graduation keep marching closer. The Texas State Ring Celebration is next week, Friday, April 25th. Students who ordered a ring should go to the University Events Center, Strahan Arena, starting at 1 p.m. next Friday. Bring an ID. You'll get the ring you ordered and be able to hold it under streaming water taken from the San Marcos River. It's a long-time tradition that makes for great photos.
Another end-of-semester tradition, getting ready for final exams and projects.
And that means stress. But Ashley and I found out the library invites in some specialists to help students get through all of that.
Think of it as unleashing a secret weapon.
At Alkek Library, it wasn't just books bringing people in. It was pause and playtime. Students gathered on the main floor to spend time with therapy dogs and unwind with fidget activities ahead of finals. The Therapy Dog event is a part of a legacy program hosted twice a semester by the university libraries. This time, it was partnered with another campus group to expand the event's reach.
We had a representative from ALCAC kind of find us. It was like, oh, what is this? We would love to partner with you and this event. It was like, okay, cool. It's like, well, we're also having therapy dogs come on April the 10th. And we were like, well, that would be a great time for those who want some touchy-feely stuff. They can go and pet, love on, cuddle with a therapy dog. And those are like, you know what, I really just want to kind of stay to myself and kind of do some unwinding things. But it's really just an opportunity for our department and ALCAC to work together, provide students two wonderful opportunities to de-stress, unwind, and just relax.
The event included everything from coloring sheets to fidget stick crafts, all aimed at helping students manage stress in a sensory-friendly environment. For many students, it's more than just a break. It's a reminder to slow down, breathe, and take care of their mental health during one of the busiest times of the semester.
I really love the fact that I have like a small part in helping facilitate joy for our students, because I think that's so important to prioritize that while you have like a heavy workload.
With finals looming, events like this offer more than just a distraction. They build community and provide a much-needed dose of calm. For Bobcat Update, I'm Ava Gibson. That was such a fun story to do.
It was, except now I want to adopt all the dogs.
Oh, I know, right? That's all we have for this edition of Bobcat Update. Thank you so much for joining us.
Watch this space for more news by students for students. And if you graduate in a couple weeks, I'll see you there.